Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Empress Aries 888. My name is Tanya. Well, I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time you press that play button. Like on the way in, gives me an energetic donation to the channel, helps me tune into you. Get some smoke on the subject, my friends. Set your intentions. I'm going to set mine. Get some order here. All right, these are collective readings. Any energy, any sign. Energy does not have a gender. So, please excuse and forgive if I use 3D terms like he or she. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Flip the roles as you see fit, and let's call on spirit and let's get this party started, shall we? Spirit guides and angels of your whitest light, please give me a clear message for the collective, one that brings healing, hope, and understanding of this situation. Protect me as I open myself up to channel and protect my beautiful collective. Hi, everybody. I'm back again. All right, let's do a protection. Let's protect this space. Cross. Because we need protection, my friends, each and every day. Get the selenites. The other one was, what is it? I keep saying it wrong. Obsidian, black obsidian, and get this beauty. Yeah. Oh, this is real protection. Protect the space. I love this stone. Okay. Gorgeous, wonderful, fabulous, which I'm hoping each and every one of you are having that all gorgeous, fabulous, wonderful day. All right, let's do it, Spirit. And a message for the overall collective. And that's black tourmaline. Just in case I didn't say it, black tourmaline. This is, I want to say, I might be saying it wrong. All right, let's do it. Spirit, what do we got here? For the overall energy, the collective. And thank you, each and every one of you, for tuning in, my friends. I so appreciate you. Okay. Here we go. Spirit, give me one message, please. 3 cards. I like 3 cards. Whoa. Gonna go overboard, Spirit. Looking at your photos. And it's all gonna go on the ground if I don't grab it. Hang on. So somebody's looking at your photos, whether that's online or they have a collection of photos or a photo album, something like that. Could be a social media platform too. Manipulation. Push this out of the way. All right, manipulation. Unrealistic expectations. If they were trying to manipulate you, that's unrealistic, that it was going to work out. Just saying. Okay, let's see. Keeping the faith is here as well. Listening to your inner voice, intuition. You could be a teacher. Something is teaching you something. I'm going to leave it at that. That's way too many. I got too much here. All right, so somebody's looking at your photos, reminiscing. But I feel like this was a manipulator. They tried to manipulate you. Maybe into staying with them. I feel like if they feel like it worked, it's unrealistic. Maybe they had unrealistic expectations of you. They could have had a power struggle with you, right? They could have felt like you were unrealistic in your expectations of them. Flip the roles. Keeping the faith, though, positivity, affirmations. What is this? Budget your money. We could all use that one. Keeping the faith. So having that spiritual knowledge, it helps you in a lot of ways to understand that there is ebbs and flows in prosperity. There's also ebbs and flows in your life where things go good and then all of a sudden there's storms. I mean, whether you believe in the Almighty God or you call it something else, or you believe in Jesus or you call it something else, or you have a different faith belief system, you have to understand that there's just like storms in nature, that's going to happen in our life. And we have to be prepared for that. Now, this was a storm in your life. This person tried to manipulate you or even twist the narrative about who you were as a person and what your expectations were too great. And that may have given them the motivation or the excuse to do things like walk away from you, ghost you, or cheat on you and say it was because of you. But in fact, it's their lack. So maybe this threw you for a loop. Maybe you weren't expecting this. You put all your eggs in that one basket and you thought this person was going to be there forever. And then all of a sudden they were gone, or the floor fell out from underneath you. They cheated on you. A lot of people believe in the Bible and what it says about do unto others as you want unto you. But the problem with that is if another person doesn't live by those rules, that, I don't know, what is that called, Spirit? Moral code? Thank you. Then these things happen, right? If you're not on the same page religiously, you're not on the same page morally, then inevitably things are going to turn to crap, turn to shit, you know? And I feel like this is what happened. You're keeping the faith, you're trying to be anchored in your faith, praying, meditating. Those are all wonderful things to do, I would say. Listening to your inner voice, your intuition. Maybe you didn't in the beginning of this situation, or even for a long time. Let's be real. But I feel like something's teaching you, or you're seeking counsel from a teacher, or you have intuitive gifts. Maybe you even do that for a living, you're a teacher. Thank you if you are. Thank you for all the teachers out there. And that's not just teachers in school systems, but that's such a hard work, such a hard job. Thank you for that. But also teachers in religion, the teachers that are on YouTube, that are teaching other people spiritually. It's a noble job, and thank you so much for that. We all have our gifts, right? But I feel you could be a teacher in real life. You could be doing some sort of teaching, or life taught you. School of Knox. But I feel like you're on your way. And this was a heartbreak. This was a heartbreak, a heartache. This wasn't something that you were expecting. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. All right, let's go into something else. See what's going down. Spirit, give me some more messages for this person who's trying to keep the faith through the storms, through the heartbreak. Help her out, Spirit. Help her out. Help him out. Always on the floor. Good. If I hit this, it's because I got a microphone. I know I talk low, so I'm using a microphone. Hopefully it helps, but it might bang and you might be like, I feel like I'm like Celine Dion. Remember when she had, maybe you don't, look it up on YouTube. She was singing the song "My Heart Will Go On" for Titanic, and they gave her the actual blue necklace, the blue diamond that was in the movie, and she kept banging her chest and like, "Oh, please don't break." I feel like that when I'm hitting this thing. It must be great. It's crazy. It's making so much noise. Sorry. Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So this is what you had to learn. Maybe like I said, teaching. Life had to teach you, and there's nothing wrong with that. We cannot say that we came here knowing everything and understanding everything, because we don't. Growth is a part of life. Death is here. I am learning the endings are merely beginnings, but death is in the reverse. Growth and death. Indecision, maybe, yes, indecision is in the upright. Using your intuition in all aspects, but maybe you are undecisive or you're still in that state. Maybe you're in separation with this person, but you're not sure whether to end it. But you've grown and you've learned, right? Bottom of the deck is freedom in the reverse. Freedom in the reverse. So you're not freeing yourself from the situation, and love in the reverse. This isn't love. Maybe recognizing that is success, and maybe recognizing that is peace. Okay? Doing it bottom of the deck without judgment in reverse. Judgment's in the reverse. So ending anything is a very hard thing. Let's face it. It's hard. It isn't easy, especially when you have family, children, real estate with the person, whatever the case, a history. But this wasn't love. 1111, it wasn't your person. This was your karmic. And there's success in recognizing that and moving forward and making a choice. Because no choice is a choice, right? You're staying stuck purposely. There's no growth in that. And your future is growth, peace, and success. So why wouldn't you want that for yourself? Because there's expectations, right? People don't leave, people stay. I know there's a whole lot of social conformity that goes on with staying in a situation. Yes, exactly. Parents don't leave, if there's kids, marriages, work it out, you get counseling, you keep trying. But if you're going to keep banging your head against the wall, expecting some sort of light bulb to go off or enlightenment, it ain't happening, kid. And you know it because intuition's here. You want success in life. You want peace in life. You're not getting it in this connection. And you're not even getting love. Not the real kind. Maybe their version of it, manipulation, control, but not love. But this has been on your mind for a while. What do? Take a risk, it's saying. Can't make it up. Take a risk. Spirit saying take a risk. Releasing's in the reverse. You haven't released this person yet. I feel like this is a person who comes from a very strong family of people who stay married for long times or believe in the union and marriage, maybe religious, right? You marry, you stay married, you work things through, talk to your pastor, you pray, light candles, or hope for the best, accept people where they're at, hope they change. It doesn't work like that. And I feel like you want to break free from this. Yeah, you do. You want to break free. Let's go into the Kipperish on Etsy, my friends. On Etsy, baby. All right. So somebody wants to take a risk, but they're not releasing this person. Maybe this person said to you, I'm not releasing you. You're not leaving me. We stay married. We stay together. We have kids. We don't break this bond. Our families would be against this. Our families, and maybe your family has said that to you. Don't do it. Your pastor said it. Yeah, maybe they said to you, at least you have somebody to help you pay the bills, even if you don't have love. Is that good enough, though, Daily Pastor? Is that good enough? Maybe that's something that a person has to settle in their mind. That person that said that gave that advice, but why would you want to have that in your life? No peace, no love, no hope. I don't feel like that's something that the God, the divine spirit would want for anybody. Family in the reverse. It has a lot to do with the distorted family and their belief systems. Look at this, the family, the family unit. But the family unit isn't the family unit. It's in the reverse. So it's a toxic family unit. Infighting, arguing, manipulation, lots of controlling, maybe controlling you. Priest is here. Here we go. Amen. A priest here telling you to stay in this relationship, not leave. Families don't break up. This is a mindset. This could be a group dynamic. This could be a community that feels this way. Even a cultural dynamic where families stay together, where families, regardless of the toxicities, do not break free from each other. They're all in each other's business. You ever see that movie, the Big Fat Greek Wedding, where they're all in, like 50 family members, and that's on the regular, always in your house, always in your business. I feel like that's that kind of dynamic, and there's nothing wrong with having family. Not, I'm not bashing family or group dynamics if it's healthy, but if it's toxic like this, where you can't even break free, they're manipulating you, they're controlling you, they're making life miserable. There's no peace here. That's different. I feel like intuitively you know that. Yeah. Spirit. True. Always throwing stuff on the floor. Maybe you are a rising star. You're trying to work against the fray here. You're doing something different that the family doesn't agree with. Maybe you have a platform and you're trying to make something work social media wise, and your family's old fashioned and doesn't believe in that type of stuff. Like, you can't make a living on that. Maybe the person that you're with doesn't support you and doesn't feel like you could make a living on that, and doesn't, makes fun of you maybe, or tries to control you, like the time you spend doing it, and says don't do it, or gets mad or upset 1717 on the clock when you try to do your platform, like try to succeed, take the time to work on your craft. They're like giving you a hard time. Yeah, endings in the reverse, but you're not ending the situation, you're keeping it going. But look at this destruction. It's destroying you inside. You don't feel satisfied, you don't feel happy in this connection. You feel like this person is negative, they're never for you. You're trying to make it work and it's getting worse and worse. You're trying to work on something that maybe your family doesn't agree with, but that makes you happy. And they're trying to manipulate you to stop doing it because it's taken away from the family, the cleaning of the house, the cooking of the meals. They have this social, not social ladder, but yeah, like a status ladder where the husband earns the money, the wife is the cook, and the yeah, you can work, but because you got to help out, right? But you still got to come home and clean and take care of the children. There's the hierarchy. I know I wanted to say it. I knew I was gonna say it, but I didn't know. Yeah, the hierarchy. There's the priest is the head one, and he controls the dynamic, the community. Um, yes, exactly. And then there's the father of the family, maybe the grandparents. Yeah, there's this hierarchy, and you want to break free and do your own thing. You're from this generation or a generation before it, and you want to be on social media because that's a huge thing. You have what it takes. Maybe you're a rising star, you sing, you've got a lot of people on your platform, but it takes time and effort to do a social media platform to get successful. You got to put effort into it, and your family's like, that's a waste of time. That's nice that you have all these friends that are on your social media, but you can't do that for a living. 1919 on the clock. They're against it. You should get married, even if you're not married. Say you're not married and you are of a generation like the generation before or the generation of now. You're young and you want to go on the social media platform. You have this idea and you're doing really well with it. You're dabbling your toes in it. You're going to school. You're doing all your studies and all that stuff, but you want to focus on this full time, and your family's totally against it, saying you should get married. You should, have children. That's what you should be focusing on. It's a whole hierarchy in this connection. This is what I'm hearing. And they're telling you to get off that social media platform, maybe even like taking it away from you. Like, yeah, you're like it's destroying you inside. This expectation. Maybe they even have this church life. This church life. What am I saying? Church life. How's that? There's a focus all the time on church. Like you go a couple times a week. it's flowers. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's in that community, the community of the church, and they all socially hang out together, do things together. They don't believe in social media. They don't believe in worldliness and stuff. And all of a sudden, it's like you want this different life, and they're trying to control you. Maybe they've been controlling you forever, and you're trying to break free. They want you to get married. They want you to have a family. They want you to focus on the church. And the priest is, yeah, denouncing this. Maybe even on the platform or at church on the pulpit, they're denouncing social media, and your family's doubling down on this. Yeah, I feel like that's what's happening here. They're manipulating you, and you want to release this, but you haven't because they're your family. It's like, what would I have without my family? They would turn their back on you if you did. That's what I'm hearing. Oh, God. Yes, like the Amish thing, that they would turn their back on you. Ugh. Page of Cups is here. Yeah, you're young. You have different creativities, and yeah, you're trying to like break free from this group dynamic. Page of Cups, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. You have a lot of emotions. You have a lot of emotions towards something other than this. You love your family, but you have a lot of interests outside of the family, and you want to explore this, and they're doubling down on you marrying or you focusing on the hierarchy, doing what your parents told you to do, doing what the priest told you to do. And it's creating this storm inside of yourself. You want to release this, but you'd have to release them. And you know that because they say you would be out of the group, out of the family. They want you to stop doing it. Yeah, they don't believe in it. Seven of Wands. You, Seven of Wands, it's like they're working against you in a lot of ways. But I feel like the universe is helping you to be strong. I feel like the universe is telling you this is the direction to go. That direction, this is where you need to go because you're going to find success. But there's people, the group dynamic, a community that's saying, no, don't do it. And there's people that are like really against it. Even having, if you like, certain religions have magazines and stuff, they're putting it out there a lot about social media. Yeah. The religion that shall not be named that will do that. And yeah, King of Cups is here. Somebody emotionally balanced, compassionate. There's somebody here that you are interested in or you listen to. Could be on social media. Somebody that has authority. And that's how you got started. This interest was started by this person, their platform, and you were watching them. And maybe you're even like talking to them. Maybe you have them on your social media, or you're emailing them or texting them, or they're in your group of creative people and they're giving you ideas on how to start in the business. And that's where you started your platform, your interest, or the direction you were going in. High Priestess, you're using your intuition. This is something that you want to do. You have a gift. It could be in spirituality, it could be in the arts, any of the clairs, clairvoyant, and maybe, tarot. I'm laughing because this is a tarot channel clearly, but it's like I know that if you're in a certain very strict religion, they are not gonna be happy about that. No, that's what it is. You have the gift, and I know I was in religions like that too, so I get it. The stronghold when they're your friends and your family is all in it, but that spiritual need sometimes is just not satisfied in 3D religions. It's just not. I know. I've been there. Magician, you're manifesting a different life. But you know that there's restrictions and you feel trapped. Eight of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you know that they're not going to be in at all. If it's a strict religion, hell no. If it's a strict community, no, they won't. But sometimes you got to go it alone. I had to, you know. Three of Cups. There's a lot of third-party interference. There's a lot of love that they, emotions. Cups is here a lot, okay? Three of Swords is here, so is heartbreak. So it's like this balance of, I love these people. They're my family. I've been in this religion for forever. What am I going to do? I have to leave all these people behind. But I feel like I'm going to burst if I don't do it. I get it. I get it. You have, your path is not their path. And family is a gift, right? Friends are a gift. People are here for a reason, a season. Family, they're always going to be in your heart. They're always going to love you, even if they are against this. 27. You got to understand, love is love. It doesn't end because a situation or a relationship ends. Love is always there. You can love somebody and not be with somebody, especially if it's a toxic dynamic where they're controlling your life. And I am not recommending you do anything. This is your journey. You write your own story. I'm not saying to leave these people behind. I'm saying that this need that you have to create, this need you have to give back, this need you have to be on a platform is divinely guided. And it's only going to get stronger as you get older. You have to pick your own path. You have to make your own choices. I can't make them for you. But I can see here there's a lot of conflict because of the family dynamic. It would break your heart to leave these people, but it would break your heart not to do this. Not to do what it is that you really intuitively want to in your heart. What do you say about the Spirit? Let's get these cards. We'll do a few more cards and we're going to be done. But I feel that there's somebody really trapped in their minds and their heart about this. You feel like they're never going to agree to this, and you're looking outwardly for permission, like on my platform or the King of Cups platform that you started out with, and I feel like you already know the answer, but let's get it anyways. Spirit, what do you say? That's the most important thing. You're the one divinely guiding this person, blessing this person. What do you say? Believe in the divine. Amen. Fulfilling outcomes. Okay. What's on this? Get creative. Get creative, man. Right path. Okay. That's what it says. I feel like you already know that, but it's like you want confirmation. You're young. I get it. You're looking to people who are successful, who are doing it. Appreciate that. But I remember those days when I was searching for spirit and not knowing where to go. And I went to traditional religions, strict religions. I feel like you were born into a family of very strong spiritual people that had very strict. It's like religion is, there's nothing wrong with believing in God. I mean, you should. I feel like God is an anchor. Jehovah God is an anchor. The Lord died for us. I believe so much in Christianity that I was raised a Catholic. Then became a Protestant, and I still am a Christian. Still am a Christian. I don't go to church. I believe in my heart that that's the right path for me. I believe in my heart that I believe in God. Just because I do tarot doesn't mean I don't believe in God. Far from it, actually. I believe more in God because of this. Because I always knew there was more to this life than just a church. I always knew that. And I always knew there was something different. It just, traditional religion didn't gel with me. Didn't make sense. There's more here than meets the eye. Yes, there's evil in the world. And it motivates a lot of actions of people. You cannot look in the world and see the destruction that has been created by the devil and say, oh, he doesn't exist. He exists. 31:31. He is not the devil and the angel inside of us. We have both. I don't believe in that. I believe, yes, we do have the ability to go one way or another, right? Because think about the devil. He was an angel, a beautiful angel worshiping God. Then he saw humankind and said, ooh, I want them to worship me, baby. You know, started getting greedy, man. Turned against his own creator. That biting the hand that feeds him. Then all of a sudden, he was thrown out of heaven by his brother Jesus, the Archangel Michael. And he said, now I'm going to be like like a roaring lion. This is so, it's kind of like my beliefs. I'm not throwing my beliefs on you, but it's my channel. I can say what I want, right? Within reason, within the YouTube policies. To me, there's no hell except for here. This is hell, because when you look at the Bible, it says that there's, all right, we're not going into too much religion here. There's a tarot reading, but it said in the Bible that the devil was thrown to the vicinity of the earth. Didn't say hell, vicinity of the earth, where he's a roaring lion seeking to devour people. Okay? So let's face it. When you see the evil in the world, hell yeah, there's a devil. And he's working overtime. Okay? What they talked about with hell was not a literal place of fire and brimstone. That's just to control the masses. Hell was the darkness that Satan is going to face, Tartarus, the abyss, where he's going to be locked out, no longer able to use his powers. He's going to be in darkness. And that's where he belongs, because he's been darkening the minds of people forever. And he needs his comeuppance. Yeah, I'm waiting for that day. Thank you much. I have tired of what people are doing to each other. Tired of it. Ain't no need. And it would be nice to have the mind of Christ. Amen. Where we can think like him and perform like him and love like him. I will never forget in my life the story in the Bible. Believe it or not, don't care. I believe. That's all that matters, what I believe. When the guy, the one that had leprosy, and he ran up to Jesus, and he wasn't even supposed to be near Jesus, because when you have leprosy, you're on the outside, the outskirts, right? Because you're contaminated. Leprosy is catchy. And so he went amongst the crowd, mind you. Ooh. And he was so deformed from leprosy. You can almost imagine. It's so painful, right? And then he said to Jesus, if you want to, you could make me clean. And Jesus said, reached out his hand and touched him. I want to be made clean. Think about the power of being able to do that for somebody. I mean, that is just, praise you for that, beautiful, beautiful. Ugh, makes me chills. So if you have the power in your head, in your mind, in your creative being, that you want to help other people, then that's what you should be doing. That's what you should be doing. Nobody should stop that. Not if they love you. They should be supporting it, but they're afraid because the whole community would go against your family and ostracize you. You know what I'm saying? So that they don't be doing what the community wants, because, my father always said, born a Catholic, die a Catholic. It's like, that's a mentality, man. You can't break certain people, but you can't change other people, but you can change yourself. You can be the catalyst of change. Give other people in that group hope. But that's up to you. I can't tell you what to do. Queen of Cups. I feel like you are a loving person, and there is loving people in that family. But there's also hidden enemies. Maybe they want to make you out to be the hidden enemy, right? But there's hidden enemies here. It's not always what it seems. People have their own agenda for keeping people stuck in cycles, in religion. I ain't going into it, but they do. 10 of Cups. You're gonna find love. You're gonna find happiness. You're gonna find your posse, a group of people that are gonna agree. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Keep having faith. It's going to work out for you. That's what Spirit's saying. Look at this. The divine guidance. You are being divinely guided. So go with that. It's going to take time, maturity, but keep honing your craft, even if it's in the dark, even if it's in your closet, even if it's when you go to sleep at night. You keep that faith. Keep saying, show me the way, give me the right path. Spirit, God, Jehovah, Lord, whatever it is that you use. And you will mature yourself. You will break free. You will break free from this, but I understand when you're young, you got to go with what your parents say when you're living under their roof. I'm not saying run away and live in a tent community. No, I really feel like they love you and they want what's best for you, and they're just afraid. They're afraid of being embarrassed by the community, the church. Yeah, but I don't know. There's somebody here that's just be careful. Just be careful what you say to people, and especially in this group dynamic. Don't talk about whatever you're doing, because they're gonna put it out. They're gonna embarrass you on that podium. I'm telling you, don't do it. You're gonna embarrass your family. Sometimes when you're young, and I know that it's hard, you want to break free, but go. Sometimes it's easy. I just whatever. You know what? I can't give you advice. I can't. I really can't. I'm not going to. I can't do it, because it's not my place. It's not my place. I'm a parent. I have a very strict code of how I feel about how my kids should be raised, and I wouldn't want anybody on YouTube telling my kid how to raise. I just can't do that. I'm sorry. But just know that you are divinely guided. He's hearing your prayers. He's hearing your manifestations. Okay? You be led by him, not me or anybody else on YouTube. We may have advice, we may have gifts, but throwing my advice out there to you, I can't do it. Not in this situation. No, you're too young. All right, so 1 John 3:18, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. Be truthful. Be honest with yourself of what you want. Live your life according to your truth, because you can only change yourself, not other people. But be your true, authentic self. Be honest with yourself of what you want, and be honest with your family, okay? And then go from there, okay? If when you're older, you have more say in what you want to do, right? I'm not saying disobey your parents. Please do not say that I would never do that. Never say that, okay? All right, here you go. The last one, Isaiah 30:21. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, you will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. Amen. You're going to know, because you're divinely guided. God is leading you to where you need to go. Don't trust a person or a situation like a community. It's really what God is saying to do. You're going to know. You're going to feel it. You're going to intuitively understand his voice. 37:37. So who are we talking about today? We are talking to a Cancer, a Aquarius, or a Pisces. Thank you so much for joining me on the Empress Aries 888. Please like and subscribe and join my tribe, because I'd love to have you. Till next time, be safe out there, my friends. Be blessed.